Hi, everybody. I wanted to talk to you about annotated bibliographies and what those are. I've had a lot of questions, and um, I think it's easier than it sounds. So, um, you know what a bibliography is. You've written probably a million essays, and on the very back page, you have a works cited, and that is essentially a bibliography with just a different title. It's just a list of originally books or sources that you used to write your essay. In this case, you're writing an essay on a topic that you've selected that is an arguable topic that is for an argument essay. And so um, think about what a works cited is or a bibliography. It's just a list of the sources that you used following a specific MLA format. And an annotated bibliography just goes one step further than that. So you're going to have the entry that's going to be the source. So if you're looking at this screen, if you had a works cited, it would just say Cooper Marianne Lightning Injury Research Project and tell you where they got it, and they have a link there. So normally you would just have that, and then you'd have this as your next entry. The thing that makes an annotated bibliography different is that it has an annotation, which is just a kind of a comment section, if you will. And in the annotated bibliography, you're going to want to include several things in this paragraph that goes underneath the entry. So notice it says annotated bibliography. It has the author and the information so that we can find the source again if we wanted to. So this is just the way to cite the sources that you're using. And then this is the additional paragraph. So notice that this is called a hanging indent. So this is to the margin. Then you have a tab that makes this indented. And then for an annotation, you're going to indent one more time. So you're going to have this nice paragraph here. In this paragraph, this is the question. What do I put in here, right? Well, in this case, you're going to summarize what you've read. You're going to read the article or read the website or the government document or whatever your source is. You're going to read it. You're going to briefly summarize it. You're going to evaluate why you think the source is credible, why you think you should use it in your research paper for your argument. And then you're going to explain how you're going to use it. So this is a chance to do the research for the argument essay. So you're going to use all of these different sources in your final essay, and you're going to summarize them here. You may even include an important quote that you got from it. You're going to explain why the source is credible, and you're going to briefly summarize and evaluate it in one paragraph. It's not more than that. So when you do this, great. If you do a great job at this, you can easily go back and write your argument essay based on what you found in each of these annotations. And then you already have the information you need in order to cite them within the text and then to include them in your works cited. So for your final essay, when you write the argument essay, you're going to be able to go back in your annotated bibliography, delete this, change it to works cited, delete the annotation, and then you'll have all the sources already completed. Easiest way to do these citations is to go to EasyBib or one of these electronic apps that allows that you type in the information. It asks you for MLA9, you type it in, and then it gives you exactly what the citation should look like. And then you copy and paste it. When you paste it, and you make sure that you use to keep the same formatting as where you got it from, and then you can and then you just paste it into the document. So what I would do if I was you is to pull up the sample annotated bibliography, which I provided in Moodle, and use that as a template, if you will. The whole point of doing this is to show me and to really show yourself and to your reader where you got the information that you're going to use for your argument. So I don't know, your argument is smoking should be banned from public places, and you have government information that says we've studied for 20 years that smoking causes cancer, and here's the evidence. You're going to use this annotation. This is going to help you prove that you have good sources and that you know what the sources are saying and that you're able to use what they've said to support your argument. You have to connect it to your argument ultimately. So you're doing multiple things. You're saying, this is what the article said. This is why we should believe this particular source. This is what makes them credible. And then this is how I could use this in my argument essay. So all of these sources should be places that you're looking for research to prove your point in your argument. Remember that your argument has to be literally arguing something for or against. You can't just say, well, maybe social media is good or it's bad. You have to say, students should not use social media during the school day. It is a distraction, harmful, and whatever your third reason is. And then you're going to find evidence from all the sources that you've read and provide this annotation in your annotated bibliography. Look at the sample for formatting, particularly. This topic is not really relevant to an argument essay, but the formatting is relevant. Use this formatting. It has to look exactly like this. So in your annotated bibliography, think of it as a kind of a souped up version of a bibliography. You're including the citation where you got the information, and then you are providing one paragraph that says what the article is about, why we should believe it, and how you're going to use it in your essay. If you have any questions, you need to let me know as soon as possible, because I can't help you if I don't know. Sorry, it's lunchtime for me. I had so many emails. I was getting nervous. I figured I better, be in touch with you guys. If you want to send me a sample of what you've written before it's due, well in advance of when it's due, so I have time to review it, I'll be happy to look at it. If you want to do one annotation or start the bibliography and then send me what you have, it doesn't have to be completed, but prior to the due date. I'm going to say, does this look right? Do you think I'm doing this right? This is also, I provided a video that talks about annotated bibliographies. There's a multitude of those on YouTube. There's lots of information online. You may be able to ask ChatGPT to give you more information or insight on annotated bibliographies, but certainly don't rely on it for your research because it makes up a lot of stuff. You need to use real legitimate sources from a database from the college, which is a part of the requirement. Let's see if I have that requirement right here. Let's go over here. Let's look at the grading. So proper MLA format, ability to place all sources in proper MLA format, ability to summarize each source in a brief paragraph, to select proper sources for the essay, and to acknowledge any AI or any electronic resources that you use. You should include that as well on a separate page. Okay, I hope that helps. Let me know. If not, okay, thanks.